Hi, this is Megan Travis, and I'm talking about my 5 new technologies. The technologies I'll be talking about today are Kahoot, Google Drive, but specifically the Team Drive, Remind, ClassDojo, and Goodreads. First, I'll be talking about Kahoot. I selected Kahoot because it's a fun way to review before a test or just to practice skills in the classroom. It's set up like a game so the students get into it and have fun. My goal is to use Kahoot as a way for students to work in pairs or on teams to reinforce math skills, number and letter recognition, sight words. It can be used for a number of different things. The reason I have my students working in pairs or teams is the amount of devices I have in my classroom. If I was working with a small group, then all of the students could have their own device, but I only have 7 iPads for all of my students to use. So if we're doing this as a class activity, they'd be working in pairs. And Kahoot can be used on computers, tablets, phones, any device students have. My intended audience for this technology would be my students, and I've listed my 2 standards here. So the first thing students need to do if they are going to participate in a Kahoot game is to get the game pin off of the main screen. So this is the screen that would be showing on my Apple TV for all of the different teams to look at, and then they would enter that game pin on their own devices. So here is what it would look like when students are entering. So first they would enter that game pin that's on the main screen, and once they've done that, they get to choose a team name. And if you're doing this with teams, after they enter a team name, they would all get to enter their player names as well. As students begin to register their teams on the main screen, they will show up. So once all of the teams have popped up on the main screen, the teacher can hit start to begin the Kahoot. Here is what the question would look like on the main screen. All students would have to look at the main screen to know what the question is. They can read the question, and then they're actually limited to have team talk for a few seconds before they can select the answer. And for this Kahoot, I had the time limit set at 20 seconds. So students would have 20 seconds to select the answer to the question 2 + 3 =. So they'd find the answer here, and obviously the answer would be 5. So on their own device, they would just have these shapes. So they would have to find the blue shape here for their correct answer. Students are alerted on their own device once they've answered a question if they've gotten it correct or not. And once all teams have answered, or once time is up, this will show on the main screen. It shows how many students got the question right and what answers other students chose if they got a question wrong. The nice thing about Kahoot is you have time here to discuss what the answer was and if anyone got confused before hitting next and moving on to the next question. And that is how to use Kahoot in the classroom.